just told me to reroute.
Well, speaking of tough guys, the Miami Heat, they come away with a victory 102-100, and Dwyane Wade averaging 24 points his last 3 games coming into this one, 15 points, 8 assists, 36 years young in his 16th year. Let's welcome in.
Oh, hey, Papa Wade in the house.
What's up, Flash?
What up, man? How y'all doing?
How are you doing? Great victory tonight for you guys. I mean, just being able to pull it out in the clutch and to make those free throws down the stretch.
Well, first of all, it is, in this league right now, everyone's trying to figure everybody out. So for us to be able to put 2 in a row here at home versus 2 good Western Conference teams, is definitely what we needed, and it's good for our confidence. So it felt good to get that win. And it's hard to hit those free throws at the end. I'd rather take a step back jumper with 2 people on me. But, we've been in the gym a lot, so I worked hard on those and was able to get them to go.
Hey, D-Wade, you just talked about it, man. You've been in this league. I mean, you old as Methuselah at this point. But have you ever seen this kind of parity in the league before? I cannot ever remember the league being this competitive from top to bottom.
No, I haven't seen this. And none of us, no one in this league has. It's you can tell, the teams that you normally, see as phenomenal offensive teams or phenomenal defensive teams, they've had times where we've all struggled this year. So whoever figured out first is going to go on a long winning streak and kind of run away. But right now, man, with the style of play and everyone's freedom, every team on any given night can beat your butt.
D, Candace here. Congratulations on your daughter. She's got a Sparks jersey on the way in the mail. She's going to be a Sparks fan. She has no choice. But
no doubt she will be.
But honestly, I've really enjoyed watching you this season, just the amount of passion you always play with. But how much fun are you having knowing that this is your last go-around?
You know what? I'm having a lot of fun. With this unit, being able to give my wisdom, to these guys, being able to watch, Josh Richardson grow, being able to watch Justice Winslow grow, Bam, watching those guys grow, for me, it's just fun. And I get a chance to come off the bench and just be me, play 25 minutes and shoot threes and everything now. Coach letting me shoot threes, and they telling me to shoot about 6 a game. I'm like, yo, where had this been? I could have played a little longer if you guys would let me do this earlier. But I'm just having a lot of fun and enjoying myself.
At the end of the game, we saw you with a moment with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, seeing the way that he plays, is it like looking in the mirror and seeing a piece of yourself from the past?
Well, I mean, I wish I was that good, that young. That kid he's special, and he's a great defender as well. A lot of people don't really talk about that. But the one thing is that young man reached out to me this summer, and you know how it is nowadays. Everyone texts and no one really talks. We talked on the phone for 2 hours. I don't talk on the phone with nobody for 2 hours. And he just picked my brain. He had a lot of questions for me about my first year to my second year, about the jump, what I was looking for, what I was looking at, what I was looking forward to, just all kind of stuff, man. So he's hungry. He's hungry for success. And even after the game, he was talking to me about plays and he was talking to me about defense. So he wants to be great.
Hey, D-Wade, last year, talk a little bit about, what it meant for you to be able to play your final year in a Miami Heat uniform. And then, when it's all said and done, have you had a chance to start thinking back and reflecting on the incredible run you've had in that Heat jersey?
Well, last year, man, I think, everyone know I dealt with a loss in my life with my agent, Henry Thomas. And at that time, I didn't really care about basketball no more. And when the trade happened to come back to Miami, it kind of gave me some new life. It gave my family, it gave Hank's family, it gave all of us new life. So, everything happens, for a reason. And that reason, man, was needed for my family. So I got to come back and I forgot how much being in your comfort zone really matters. I got back in my comfort zone right away after a few games, and I felt great ever since. In Cleveland, that jersey color may not look as great on me, but I tried to do my best. I tried to come off the bench. I tried to make things work. But at the end of the day, I'm in the place that I should be in and the place I should in my career. So I'm happy.
Well, speaking about your family, your son is a great basketball player. I've been fortunate enough to be able to see him.
Don't say great.
I'm going to say great. I give props where it's due. Z-Man is a great basketball player. What advice would you or do you give him consistently when he has obviously aspirations to play in the NBA?
Yeah, well, first I'll tell him to go watch Cole Anthony play. But I think the cool thing at this point with my son being 16 years old, and Greg, I think now they're coming to us a little bit more. They're trying to pick our brain. They're listening a little bit more. When he was younger, I stayed out of things because he was taking things harder coming from me. But right now, he's a thirst for everything. So we watch film together. After every game, I send him, because I watch all his games, so I sit down and I send him, kind of my take. And I give him to watch the game and send me his take. So I'm trying to make him a student of the game. From a talent standpoint, he's been gifted with that. But I want him to be a student of the game. I want his IQ to be above the rest and, give himself an opportunity to continue to play this game he loves, hopefully on this level.
Dwyane Wade, best of luck to Zaire. Thank you for everything you've done for the game of basketball, and thank you for your time, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Real
God bless,
CP3.
brother.
I'm waiting for that jersey
Hey,
for Kavi.
it's in the mail. I got you.
GA, speak to that a little bit. Being a father of a kid that's high profile and has what you would call talent to make it to the NBA. How difficult is it, when he's going through that process and where he's at in his life and his career?
It's interesting. I think it's so funny listening to Dwyane talk that way because it's exactly what we went through with my son and I. You kind of got to let them define who they are first. And then they start to talk to you and ask you about things. The other thing, though, I tell you, there's far more pressure on Zaire and on my son because of who their dads are and being in the game. But they tend to handle it better because they do have somebody that at least kind of knows what they're going through, that they trust. So it is fun. But you're seeing it. You look at LeBron's son, Shaq's sons and daughter. A lot of guys who have played and gals, because your daughter probably going to be balling in a minute, at a high level, their kids tend to migrate towards the game and enjoy it. And now, there's just so much more opportunity in our game for young people. I didn't get to play against top players around the country when I was in the 6th grade, 7th grade, but the kids today get that opportunity, they get that exposure. And that's one reason why you look at our league. These guys all have grown up, they know each other. All the top players at every level, they spend a lot of time, they train together, they work out together. It doesn't make them any less competitive. In a lot of ways, it makes them better because how the best that you can become is by going against the best. That's how you really become a better player, when you go in the gym every day knowing that if I got to go against Candace, she can kick my butt if I don't bring it every day, and vice versa. So, that's an advantage that these young players have today. It's one reason why our game is in such great shape, and we have such great mentors like Dwyane. You see the relationship he has with Donovan Mitchell, and you see the young players seeking and thirsting that knowledge so they can become great players in their own right.
Candace, speak to that a little bit. You see Wade and Donovan Mitchell getting together. When you're playing and you see a player on another team that mimics your game or is similar to your game, do you take them under your wing as well and try to make sure that they understand what's coming their way?
Well, I think you answer who comes to you. As a young player, I played alongside Lisa Leslie, and I was very eager to go pick her brain about what made her successful. And in this league now, anybody that reaches out to me and wants to grow and wants to learn, and GA spoke to it earlier, you kind of have to let players decide what they want and who they are and come to you. Because sometimes they're not ready for the advice or the criticism or the critique of a game. D. Wade spoke earlier. He sends film to his son and sits down because he wants him to become a student of the game. That's so much of it is lost, that you have to watch basketball, you have to enjoy basketball, you have to be passionate about it. And so, to see Donovan Mitchell really be eager to learn and to really seek out D. Wade's advice, that says a lot about him.
Certainly an incredible finish from the Miami Heat and the Utah Jazz. Dallas and LA, the Mavericks pushing ahead there in the fourth quarter or into the third quarter. Dwight Powell getting the bucket inside. We'll bring you that next. You're watching Game Time Live. For the Charlotte Hornets, it snaps a 5-game road losing streak. They're just 2-10 on the road this season, or 3-10 now on the road this season. With that, we'd like to welcome in Julius Randle, who had 13-9 first season in New Orleans. Hey, you look incredible alongside Anthony Davis and Nikola Mirotic with that front court that you guys have developed. Why is it working so well with you three as a rotation down there?
We all bring something different to the game. We can constantly rotate guys and, create mismatches or different problems for the defense. So it's a lot of, we got a lot of versatile players on this team, and it works well.
Julius, obviously this season you guys started off very hot. winning, winning on the road as well. And then you guys had some injury trouble. Obviously, your role changes going in off the bench as well as starting some games. So what is your mentality? Does it change when you're starting or alongside Anthony Davis?
It doesn't change whether I'm starting or not. I would say in the second unit, there's a lot more responsibility for me in that unit, whether it's scoring or creating and being kind of the anchor. So in that sense, it changes. But for me, my mindset stays the same. Just play aggressive, play with energy, just play hard, and usually everything else falls in place after that.
Well, Julius, no doubt that mindset has been an aggressive one since you come into the league. You've played for some interesting coaches with, obviously Luke Walton last year and John Calipari. But Alvin Gentry's a little bit of a different cat, isn't he? Talk a little bit about how different he is as a coach. I know Alvin very well, and I think he does a hell of a job, but he's a little bit different, isn't he?
Yeah, Judge is different, man. He's unique in his own way. But I will say about Coach, he cares about his players. Wants the best for us, and he gives us a lot of freedom to go out there and play. So, so far it's been good, and I'm loving it.
One of the things that you've done in your career is you've worked on your body a tremendous amount, getting into great shape. How has that helped your game and to elevate to a higher level?
It just for me, my God-given abilities with my strength, my speed, my athleticism, it just enhanced those to where I can play to my strengths even more. Guard multiple positions, getting up and down the floor, using my quicknesses on mismatches or my power on mismatches. So for me, it definitely helped me in that sense, just making me become an overall better player on both ends.
Hey, I'm going to take you back a little bit to last year. Obviously, you had a terrific season for the Lakers. Was it at all disappointing that you didn't re-sign there? And obviously, I know you're happy in New Orleans, but take us back to that time when you were going through the process.
The process, it was long, but it all happened pretty fast, once July 1st hit. As far as disappointment, no, I'm not disappointed. I had 4 great years there, a lot of fun, had a lot of great teammates there, and, I felt like, we built something, established something. So, I got nothing but love for all those guys that, I played with over there. But for that instance, like I said, it all happened so fast. I think I signed the second or third day, so it all happened so fast. And just with my representation, we had a bunch of options laid out of how it could play out, and we always knew this was an option. So I'm definitely happy here.
Julius Randle, congrats on the road win. Clearly, you guys needed that one. It's good to see you get it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time. J.J. Redick starting to heat up for the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're ahead by double digits in the third quarter. Bringing that one next on GameTime Live.